13. This unit is about participants in the rural distribution process. We will majorly discuss about the main players in rural distribution, their roles and how they function. Rural distribution is not only about getting products from the manufacturer to consumers, but also about how intermediaries like formal and informal are helping to bridge this gap. We will study innovative distribution models, cooperative societies, public distribution system, and the traditional institutions like village fairs, hacks. Distribution in rural areas cannot be explained by one channel alone. It involves a network of participants ranging from traditional shopkeepers to government supported system, because last few units we understand the challenges of rural distribution, and this unit will introduce you about the participants of rural system, and we will also understand how each type contributes uniquely to reaching the rural consumers. After completing this unit, you will be able to know the, or you can critically evaluate their effectiveness and understand why monitoring distribution performance is essential for long term success for the marketer. So these are the points that we are going to focus now. Yesterday we understood about the rural distribution channel, and this unit is all about its participants, and these are the major learning outcomes. Where the function of distribution channel in rural market, we will define the hierarchy of intermediaries in rural market. What are the different types of intermediaries that are available for the rural distribution channel, and we will finally understand the importance of performance evaluation and monitoring of channels of distribution. Let's introduce the unit. Rural market are large but scattered, that we have already understood about it. It is almost having 6,50,000 villages. And reaching rural consumer is a challenging process because villages are numerous, they are dispersed in nature due to the connectivity issues, the poor infrastructure that we all discussed in the last unit. So distribution requires all attention for the marketer, let it be introduction of intermediaries or getting connected from the manufacturer to the customers. Direct distribution by manufacturer is practically not possible because intermediaries are important for this place due to these available challenges. Let it be a lack of infrastructure challenge. So for rural market, getting products from the direct manufacturer is not possible at all. So there are some intermediaries between the manufacturers and the customer. Likewise, some formal channels are also available like distributors, cooperative societies, public distribution shop. Those are known as fair price shop, and informal channels like villages, village fairs, melas, etc. Companies are also introducing new initiative to address the gap between the manufacturer and the customer, or to have better availability of product or smooth process for the availability of the product from the marketer to the customers. Companies are also thinking about new initiatives. So this is the introduction of unit for this unit, and let's understand it in detail. What are the conventional and modern intermediaries? Wholesalers and stockists are the traditional or conventional distributor channel, and these were the backbone of rural distribution as well, because usually they supply products in bulk to local retailers. But this conventional system had limitation over poor penetration due to their high cost and inefficiency in reaching customers on time. So, likewise, beyond this, conventional participants like wholesalers, retailers, and distributors, modern participants are also available nowadays, like direct to retail initiatives, self help groups, NGOs, and community based models, and technology driven platform. So, these modern approaches doing what? They are focusing on inclusivity and innovation. Innovation in terms of reaching the customer on time, or providing the customer the service or the product and the need of their requirement. So, for example, we have already discussed about Achievable Satyama project, that is helping the rural women to develop themselves through SSG group, and they are distributing the FMCG product, while ITC is having e-shop that leverage the technology to connect farmers directly with the market. So companies have taken the initiative to reach the rural market, like these two initiative, but we cannot ignore the conventional participants as well. So for rural market or rural belt, both conventional and modern participants are highly required, and they're equally important for this process. So these are all about conventional and modern intermediaries. And what is the need of intermediaries in rural distribution? Why a rural marketer need intermediary? The rural market structure makes intermediaries indispensable. They cannot avoid, they cannot ignore the intermediaries. Why? The manufacturers cannot afford to distribute directly to thousands of small and scattered or dispersed villages. It is not possible for the manufacturer to make the product available to this large scale of villages. Intermediaries reduce cost by consolidating orders, extend credit to rural buyers, and bring products closer to the consumers. That is what the role of intermediary is important. They are doing what? They are consolidating the orders, and they are having credit system for the rural buyers. They are bringing the product to the doorstep of the consumer. So it is easier for the consumer to buy the product. They also have strong social networking ties that foster trust as an essential factor in rural buying and selling process. Intermediaries thus play both an economic and cultural role because they understand the culture of the village, they extend the help of credit, they also build the trust between the manufacturer and the buyer. So we cannot avoid, the marketer cannot avoid the role of the importance of the role of intermediaries between the manufacturer and the customer. So intermediaries provide aggregation of demand, credit facilities, build local trust, and connect the last mile connectivity. What is the role of wholesalers in rural distribution? Wholesalers form a key link in the rural distribution chain. They purchase large quantities of goods from the manufacturer and then supply them to the smaller retailers in the village. That is the role of wholesaler. That also we know. They usually purchase in large quantities, then they distribute it through their small chains to the local villages. Since most rural retailers cannot afford bulk purchases, they cannot afford the huge amount of purchases, wholesalers play a crucial role in aggregation. The individual retailer at a village, they are not able to purchase in a large quantity, so they are dependent on the wholesaler, and wholesaler does that function. They purchase in large quantities, then they distribute or sell their product to the small retailers. They also provide credit to rural shopkeepers, which sustain the sales. Here we can all understand credit is an important part for rural marketing or rural selling process. So this is also available at the wholesalers to the retailer. However, their services often do not extend to the most remote villages, leaving gaps in coverage. But there is again another challenge is there, that their services or wholesaler services often do not extend to the most remote village. They are not able to reach to the most remote part of the village. So there is a challenge, and it is a gap that the marketer need to understand, and they need to take out initiative to fill the gap. So the major role of wholesaler is to do what? They are purchasing in bulk amount. They supply goods to smaller retailers. They extend credit facilities, and they are reducing the manufacturer's burden of direct distribution. So these are the roles of wholesaler in rural distribution. Then it comes to the role of retailers in rural distribution. Retailers are the face of rural distribution. Wholesalers are the remain at the backstage, but the retailers are the face of rural distribution. They maintain a direct connection with the villages. They often know the customers personally, their preferences on a regular interval. So they extend informal credit and act as advisor for product choices. They rather the villagers depend on them for their product choice or the buying decision because they trust them. Their familiarity, their closeness with local needs allows them to stock relevant products. Retailers are indispensable for last mile distribution, though they depend heavily on wholesalers and distributors for supply. This is what the marketer need to understand. Though wholesaler is purchasing in bulk, but the face of the marketing processes or activities or the buying or selling processes is through the retailer. So this is the face of rural distribution because they know the villages personally. They know their preferences of product and services. They also know that which villager can avail the credit system and which is not availing that. The familiarity and the closeness with the local needs and the local customers is the best choice or the best passage of distributing the products to the customers. So these are retailers at the closest point of contact with the rural consumers. They usually people have seen them through kirana shops, small outlets, or pan dukan or weekly stalls. They provide small scale credit to customers, offer personalized services and build trust, understand local demand and preferences well than the wholesaler. So in rural distribution channel, the role of retailer is always important one, an important one. Then it comes to stockists and distributors. Stockists and distributors are officially representatives of companies, ensuring product availability in assigned territories. These are different format of distribution channel, not exactly like wholesaler and retailers. These are the company representatives, and they ensure the availability of the product or services in their assigned territories. They not only manage inventory but also help in executing promotional strategies. For example, in FMCG, distributors handle multiple product categories like soaps, detergent, and packed food, making them central to rural market penetration. They keep everything. For example, for a marketer or retailer or distributor, while they are having limited categories of product, but for this stockist and distributors, they have different categories of their product like soaps, detergent, and other items. So they are central to rural market penetration. However, they too face issues with cost efficiency in some distant villages or where the distance is a major concern. So stockists and distributors, they are appointed by their company for a specific area. They act as intermediaries like wholesaler and distributor, but they are different from the wholesaler and distribution. Maintain inventory and ensures timely supply in more effectively than the wholesaler and the suppliers. Provide promotional support at local levels. They are also the promotional event, or they also conduct some promotional activities on behalf of their company, and it helps the customers to understand the company product in detail. And these stockists and distributors are also the part of promotional activities of the company. So these are another intermediary of distribution channel, rural distribution channel, and marketers need to take care of them also. Then, what are the challenges of traditional intermediaries? We understand three different types of intermediaries. First is your wholesaler, then the retailer, then the stockist. Those are appointed from the company itself. Let's understand the challenges of traditional intermediaries. Traditional intermediaries face structural challenges for rural distribution because of transportation costs are generally high and villages are scattered in nature. Many retailers and wholesalers depend on credit, which slows their supply chain. So, what happens really in traditional intermediaries is that they depend mostly on credit system, and once they are dependent on credit system, their supply chain goes slow. As a result of that, rural consumers often face stockout or price fluctuations. So once the supply chain is having slow pace or the supply chain is not regular in operation, There will be a stock out or the shortage of product at the for the rural consumers. Limited professionalism among intermediaries also reduces the efficiency of their work and promoting companies to explore modern solutions. So these are the challenges. High distribution cost due to distance and low volumes. Limited penetration into remote areas due to its problem like large scattered villages. Over reliance on credit cycles that have keeps the supply chain slow. Delayed or inconsistent product availability and lack of professional management. These are the challenges of traditional intermediaries. For example, the FMCG sector illustrates how traditional distribution network function. A company producing soaps or detergents typically channels goods through stockists and wholesalers before reaching village retailers. So normally it happens they goes through stockist and wholesaler before reaching village retailers. This system ensured products were present in many areas but didn't always penetrate small or remote village. That is the channel. They are not able to penetrate to small and village or remote village. They are not able to reach to the remote villages. Goods moved from manufacturer, then to stockists, then to wholesalers, then retailers. It ensures wide coverage but not uneven reach. So what are the weakness? Weakness is last mile delivery often get neglected. So this model of FMCG distribution highlights the strength of scale but also the weakness in last mile delivery that modern innovations are trying to fix. As because this is a challenge, companies are not thinking innovative way to fix this challenge or to bridge this gap because they understood the traditional distribution channel is having this problem. Then it comes to direct to retail model. Direct to retail models are being increasingly adopted by companies to overcome inefficiencies of the traditional chain. Inefficiency is that challenge that we recently discussed. Companies bypass wholesalers to reach retailers directly. Companies are nowadays bypassing wholesalers to reach retailers directly. Reduces dependence on multiple intermediaries, improves efficiency and cost control, ensures better product availability, for example, ITC's direct supply models. So, by directly supplying goods to village retailers, companies are reducing delay in the process of transportation. They are controlling the pricing in a better way by discussing with the customers in a direct manner, and they are building stronger relationship with the retailers. This approach is helping in ensuring consistent product availability, especially for FMCG category. So they have come out with a innovative one that is called direct to retail models, where they're directly reaching the retailers and they're avoiding the stockist and the other intermediaries. Beyond that, there is also corporate innovations in rural distribution, like HUL's Project Sakti, where HUL did what? They empowered the women through Sakti Amma's project to sell FMCG in villages. That means the women of that particular village, they are taking care of the distribution of their product or the FMCG product, and HUL has named this project as Sakti Amas. Likewise, there is another project by ITC's eChopal, that is a digital platform providing market access and information to farmers. When the farmers are coming there or using the eChopal for their regular problems, they are able to get a connection with them and they are able to sell their product to them also. Then the third one is Coca-Cola rural distribution. What Coca-Cola is doing, Coca-Cola has introduced smaller pack size, low cost coolers for rural shops. Smaller pack size because in previous units we understood the purchasing power of rural belt is little low than the urban belt. So they are easily affording the small sachet or small ticket size product than the larger one. So Coca-Cola did the same. So Coca-Cola is introducing has introduced the small bottles of 20 rupees or 10 rupees for rural belt, and low cost coolers for the rural shops to store them. Colgate and Godrej, they used mobile vans and hats for promotion. So they did a different kind of promotion through mobile vans, having large hoardings of both the product and hats for the promotion. So corporate innovation like this, all the four corporate innovation has reshaped rural distribution. Let it be HUL's projects or ITC's e-chopper or Coca-Cola or Colgate, they have reshaped the rural marketing strategies by introducing the product directly to the customer. The next comes the role of NGOs and SSG group in distribution. NGOs and SSG act as trusted intermediaries. They are effective channels in rural market because they have deep-rooted community trust. They build strong local credibility and trust. They not only distribute goods but also promote social development. For instance, women SSG often combine microfinance activities with distribution of essential goods, reaching remote consumers in areas where conventional channels are absent. So they are doing what? They are empowering women and marginalized groups. They are extending distribution to remote and underdeserved areas through them. And they are linking SSG with the microfinance to have a better connectivity with the customers for their need. So NGOs and SSG are majorly considered as the trust builder because people, village build people that literally depend on them or they build the trust with them as they are taking loans from them. They are connected with SSG group for their regular day-to-day activities, etc. What is the role of franchisee and rural entrepreneurs? Franchisee-based rural distribution gives companies scalability while empowering rural entrepreneurs. Micro franchising models for distribution because the companies are looking for franchisee options to enhance the distribution channel and to empower the rural entrepreneurs. Local entrepreneurs are more committed to serving their communities and understand local needs because they understand their local areas requirement, their people mindset, their psychology behind the buying behavior. So they are more committed in serving their communities in detail and as they understand the local needs. They create a win-win model. What is that? When companies expand their reach while villages gain business opportunities and employment. Companies are expanding their reach while villages are getting business opportunity out of that reach. Villages are taking the options from the company to open and franchise in the village, and through franchisee they are doing the business and they are reaching to their local village people. Likewise through them the company is also earning its profit. So this is the role of franchisee and rural entrepreneurs. What is the role of technology in rural distribution? Technology is something that we cannot avoid nowadays or marketers cannot avoid. Technology is transforming rural distribution by reducing dependency on physical intermediaries. Let it be a technology or mobile application for order replacement or placement or cancellation. So when a customer is ordering something through the mobile, he is using the technology and this simple application or use of technology has changed the rural or reshaped the rural distribution. Mobile-based order system, e-commerce platform allow retailers and consumers to directly connect with companies. Digital payments such as UPI make transactions smoother and more transparent. Companies also benefit from real-time data on demand and supply that is helping to streamline logistics and improve service levels. So, to understand technology in rural distribution channel, we are very close in using the technology in our day-to-day life also. Even in rural belt, people are using the technology. Let it be through a mobile application for ordering from Amazon or Myntra. Let it be something that they are replacing their order or cancelling their order. They are nowadays exposed to mobile application and the application of internet. So e-commerce platforms are slowly reaching villages. Let it be any Amazon, Myntra, or Flipkart or other sources. It is reaching the villages. and they are also start paying through digital payments, and it is making the process easier, even easier. Real-time data helps in inventory and logistic planning. For example, Reliance Jio's role in improving digital access. Reliance Jio has really reshaped the entire rural distribution channel by introducing its in by or by keeping the network connection, or by helping introducing their product to the customers. Nowadays, the rural belt people are also accessing the internet through their mobile and doing their businesses like this, or they're closing their day-to-day requirements through the application of internet. Then it comes to cooperative societies. What is that? What is the role of cooperative society? We all know about cooperative societies, and these were established to strengthen the rural economies by pooling resources. So they not only majorly these are formed by farmers and producers to meet the common needs. They play a key role in agriculture related distribution like dairy, sugar and fertilizers. So they operate at villages, district and state levels, provide fair pricing and eliminate exploitative middlemen. So they not only provide inputs like fertilizers and seed, but also help the farmers to market their produce at the fair prices. So these are important distribution intermediaries, or the participants in rural distribution channels. Those are helping the farmers to solve their problem and also helping the farmer to do the buying decisions. So marketer need to take care of this operative society because they are more closer to the village people or village buyers. So by removing middleman, cooperatives are protecting farmers from exploitation and ensuring better returns for their produce. What are the function of cooperative societies? Cooperatives function as multi-purpose organization. They support both production and distribution. They also ensures access to essential goods and services. Beyond economics, they also provide education and training to members. They are strengthening the rural economy holistically. So these are the major function of cooperative society. What they are doing, they are helping in both production and distribution of agricultural produce. They are helping in the distribution of essential inputs like seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides. Those are needed by the farmer. They are also extending credit and financial support to members. Marketing and sales of agricultural goods are happening through them. So, along with this, they are also helping in education, training, and welfare of the village people. So, naturally, they are the trust builder with the villages. After cooperative society, there is another one, that is public distribution system. We all know about that. The PDS, or the short form of public distribution system, is one of the largest distribution system in the world, and it is run by the government. It supplies what? It supplies food grains, sugars, kerosene at subsidized price, or normally in local language we call them as control shops. But what they do, they run the shops with a fair price policy to ensure that low income households can meet their basic needs by purchasing these items with a fair price from this public distribution system run by the government. In rural India, PDS outlets are often the primary formal source of essential commodities. Villages and the local people, they used to come to those shops to purchase the products or the day-to-day regular requirement in a fair price model from those shops, and these are the main major. This is a major component or participant of rural distribution channel. The major objective of PDS, or public distribution system, is to ensure food security for vulnerable households. The government is having the objective to ensure the food security for everyone. So they are doing, or they are operating with the same objective across the villages to make available to make food availability to the villages. What are strength and weakness of PDS? The strengths are wide geographical reach and it ensures minimal nutrition and basic needs. It supports poor household. The PDS is a lifeline for millions those are having less income structure. But it is not without challenges. Leakage, having strengths like these are available everywhere, or most of the location these are available. Rather, you can call these are available in each village, so people are easily coming to that shop to purchase the product or daily required product. They also ensures the minimum nutrition and basic needs of the people. So this is the PDS system is the major support for the poor households. But along with these strengths, it has some weakness or challenges also, like leakages, corruption, and inefficiencies. Leakages and diversion of goods reduce its effectiveness. Corruption again. Corruption in the distribution and errors in identifying the beneficiaries of the village sometimes exclude the deserving families. That is normal in our society. That these kirana, these control shops are not able to identify the real-time beneficiaries of the village, and sometimes they are also excluding the deserving families due to corruption. However, reforms such as digital reform like Aadhaar linked ration cards and everything online with every details on online ration cards, these corruptions are slowly ending and they are improving the transparency. So the weakness of PDS systems are leakages, corruption and inefficiencies, the doubtful selection of beneficiaries, or there is a mistake, there is always a mistake due to corruption and beneficiary identifications and poor infrastructure in some areas. So these are the strength and weakness of PDS. Those PDS are widely available, but again it has the weakness like corruption and leakages. For example, of PDS in action is a monthly ration distribution, where households collect their allocation of goods from fair price shops. Recent technology integration like Aadhaar linked cards and electronic point of sale system no doubt has improved the accountability and reduced the duplication, but again it is the challenges are not yet closed. So the villages collect the subsidized grain, sugar, and kerosene from the monthly ration distribution chains through fair price shops. And the what enhances the reduction of corruption in those PDS system is the Aadhaar linked cards. Nowadays, government has initiated the Aadhaar linked cards and electronic point of sale system. It is helping to reduce the corruption, but again, the challenges are not yet completely closed for PDS system. Next, it comes to village hearts. Though it is ancient in nature, these are available long back. And why village huts are popular? Because of small weekly markets that bring together the farmers, the traders, and the consumer at one place. So that is the uniqueness of village huts. They are crucial for rural distribution because they provide villagers access to a variety of products at low cost. That is what they're crucial, because they're having fresh products. Even if you are going to buy the vegetables or from the hut, you will get some fresh vegetable than a shopping mall. They are crucial for rural distribution as they provide the villages, or they have the access to the villages to the variety of products at low cost. Farmers benefit by selling directly to consumers and they avoid the middleman. For marketers, Hearts are valuable touchpoints to test product and promote the new items. So village arts are the traditional distribution houses or places, but it has immense importance. Like these serves as a local hub for the village trade and exchange. Farmers sell produces directly from the consumers, directly to the consumers. Traders and small traders supply essential These are also accessible and affordable distribution points. What are the function of village hearts? Hearts function beyond the trade. Not only just trading is happening at hearts, it also have different other additive functions. There are also community events. Villages use them not just to buy and sell, but also as to interact socially. Heart is an emotion for the villagers. They normally don't come for the buying and trading season. They come for many psychological fulfillment like interaction. It's a community place for community events and etc. For companies, hearts present and opportunities to introduce products directly to consumers and observe rural buying behavior in a natural environment. Sorry. For companies, hearts represent an opportunity to introduce products. Company can enter to the hearts and they can introduce their product directly to the consumers, and they can also observe the rural buying behavior of the consumer on the spot in a natural environment rather we can say. So from the village hearts are established as a point of exchange trading and also a point of social interaction. So marketer can take the opportunity of entering into these hearts to interact with the local buyers or the local consumers directly. They can have the option of directly interacting with them. So village hearts facilitate trade in agricultural produce. It enable purchase of essential goods, support social interaction and community bonding, then provide exposure to new products, encourage informal credit and barter system also. So these are all function of village hearts. Next to village hearts are the village fairs. What are the characteristics of village fairs? These are larger than the hearts and less frequent than the hearts. You may have seen the weekly hearts, quarterly hearts, but village fairs are once in a 3 months or 4 months or at the time of festival. So the frequency of arranging having a village fair is less than the village hearts. These are often linked to festival, harvest, or religious event, but it attracts a large crowd from multiple villages. It includes cultural, religious, and entertainment activities. It provides bulk distribution opportunities. So, village fairs are bigger than hats and are usually held annually or seasonally. That is what it is bigger than the hats. They attract huge crowd and combine all economic, cultural, and religious function. For a marketer, fairs provide a mass exposure and a platform to distribute goods in bulk. How the marketer can take the help of village fairs for the introduction of goods and services, or for the exposure to get and for use this benefit to facilitate the customer to use their product. They can approach this village fairs because the major characteristics of village fair is having a large crowd for their buying and selling activities. The marketer can easily approach the village fairs for their marketing activities. So they can also introduce the consumer durable product, clothing product, and entertainment related products through village fairs. What are the advantages of heart and fairs? Heart is smaller than village fairs, and heart and fairs are cost-effective marketing channels because of low infrastructure cost for the marketers. They don't have to set up the hoardings. A large advertising costs are not that large. So for the major advantages of heart and fair is the availability of low infrastructure cost of for the marketer. Companies can showcase products, conduct live demonstration, and encourage the trial. So what they can do, they can come and join these fairs. They can showcase their products, conduct live demonstration, and encourage customers for a trial. So, because we all know that Hearts and Fair is having a large audience in a short time period. So, in this short time period, the company can go for a demonstration of its product. It builds brand awareness and trust. They also create strong brand recall as real consumers trust product they see in a public gathering. This is a psychology. They trust a product that they have seen in a public gathering. These events boost local economies by encouraging trade and interaction. This kind of events is boosting local economies by encouraging trade and interactions, and they are helping the buyer, the rural buyer, to purchase the right product, and they are also helping the marketer in demonstrating their product to the rural buyer. So these are the advantages of hearts and fairs for the rural buyers. Along with the advantages, there are some limitation of hearts and fairs. Limitations are seasonal or periodic in nature. Despite the benefits, arts and fairs cannot replace regular distribution channel because regular distribution channels are what is that? Through wholesalers and retailers. The hearts and the fairs cannot replace those regular distribution channels. Their seasonal in nature makes they lack means they lack consistency because these hearts and fairs are not regular in their setup. They usually get their setup during the harvest or the festival time. So customer cannot depend on them to purchase a product or to get a service or because they don't know when these hearts and fairs are coming in market. So this lack the consistency in them. Infrastructure issues like storage and hygiene also limit their effectiveness. This is a major point. If you are going you are visiting a hut and you saw some pickles, so there must be a question in your mind: what is the hygiene of this pickle? Because they are storing the pickle, they're displaying the pickle in the open crowd. So even if you are not very comfortable to test the pickle because it is not that protected or not that hygiene level is maintained. So the third channel or the limitation of the hearts and fair is a storage problem and hygiene problem. Do they store in a proper way? Because even if it's a cloth, say April, you have gone for a cloth purchase, you will find some dust on that because these hearts and fairs are not having proper storage capacity or storage place to store their product before selling or after selling those products. So these products are generally not that clean rather than compared to the shops. So the limitation of hearts and fairs are storage and hygiene issues. So therefore, marketers use them as supplementary channel, not the primary channel, to support broader distribution network rather than the main source of product delivery. So this is a very good point where keeping in mind the limitation of hearts and fairs, marketer can keep them as the supplementary channel to support the broader distribution along with the major shops and vendor wholesalers. There is an example in your study material. Sorry. Companies often use village hearts and fairs as promotional platforms. FMCG firms, for example, set up mobile vans or temporary stall to demonstrate products for detergent and personal care items. So companies can take the importance of village hearts. They can demonstrate their product through them, and they can help the customer to use their product in a sachet format or in a small scale format. So for demonstration purpose, this hearts and fairs are very good place where the company can demonstrate their product to the larger crowd. Since fairs attract large crowd, they are cost-effective opportunities for building brand visibility in rural areas. Since fair attract large crowd, they are cost-effective in nature and build visible branding activities in the rural areas. So this is a example of art, and the marketer cannot avoid the heart system or weekly fair system because at least this is a very good point where the marketer show or demonstrate their product to a larger crowd, and through demonstration only they can initiate the spark or they can initiate the interest to purchase the product, They can help the customer to use it, then feel it, then take the feedback from the customer about the product. So Heart and Fairs, these are a very good platform for the company or the marketer to demonstrate the product to a larger crowd. It will be more more personal than a paid advertisement, where the person who is advertising the product is not felt by the customers. But in heart, if you're demonstrating your product to a person or through your company representative, they are feeling the product, they're testing the product, they are showing the understanding the cost of the price of the product. So Heart and Wares are the places or the platforms where a product company can demonstrate their products. What is the importance of channel monitoring? Why a marketer needs to monitor the channel? There are many channels that we discussed. PDS is there, cooperatives are there SSG groups are there. Then again, they can also have current updated distribution channels. But monitoring is needed to be done by the company for the channel's effectiveness. So distribution involves many participants that we understood in previous slides. Without proper oversight or proper monitoring, there is a risk of leakage, inefficiencies, or poor service. There is a chance that you can invite inefficiency in the channel. You can also invite poor services if you are not monitoring your distribution channels. So monitoring ensures that intermediaries deliver results in line with the company's objectives and helps to identify weak links in the distribution chain. So monitor how you are going to monitor your distribution channel. So I am regularly with a particular interval you are discussing with your channels and understanding their gaps. And after understanding the gap, you are helping the intermediaries to bridge the gap and to prevent the leakages and the inefficiencies. And monitoring helps to ensure alignment with company goal and builds accountability in the channel system. So these are the importance of channel monitoring. What are the methods of channel monitoring? How you can do the monitoring of channels? So these are the methods like sales audits, retailer service, technology-enabled tracking system, and feedback mechanisms. The first point is sales audit. You can directly track the sales against the target. Every on a regular frequency you are visiting your what is that your distribution partners, and there you are auditing their sales against the target. What was their target and how much they have achieved it? If you are doing this on behalf of your company, then you are doing a sales audit, and it is also a part of monitoring the distribution participants. Then it comes to retailer service. You are gathering feedback from the retailer about the distribution of their product or the services. So through feedback, what you are understanding the real-time feedback or real-time opinion of the retailers about the product and the services. Technology enabled tracking. This is the new one where the examples are like GPS, digital order system. So when GPS is activated, you can understand where your trucks are, where your transportation system is at what stage, and when the customer can receive the product through the GPS system. It is helping the marketers to track and to get a real-time updation about the distribution channel. Then the last method is feedback mechanism. It is like taking feedback on a continuous process to build a continuous communication with intermediaries. So these four methods are the channel monitoring methods. Let it be sales audit, a retailer survey, technology enabled tracking, or feedback mechanism. Okay, so the performance review of distribution participants, how you are going to measure the performance of the distribution participants and Why the review of performance is important? At the day end, you are or the marketer is looking for a right time delivery of their product and services to the customer, and helping the customer in getting the product in a hassle free services, and also earning some good feedback from the customers. So for this, performance review is needed for the distribution participants. Review enhances the efficiency and reach as well as the sale. If you are reviewing or the marketer is reviewing the performance of the distribution participants, it will definitely give a clear picture. Are they effective or not? Are they efficient or not? Are they reaching the customers on time or not? And what is their sales figure? So a review gives a clarity or a clear picture of performance. So regular performance review ensures the distribution partners remain motivated and effective, and it also helps the company to bridge the gap between the expectation and the actual one, and it also helps keeps the trust level alive between the marketer and the participants. Companies assess sales coverage and service qualities. So if they find any deficiency in that, they're also compensating that. Strong performers may be rewarded with better incentives, while weak one may be replaced or given training. Out of this performance review, the company will understand which distribution participant is doing what. If they are not doing as per the mark, they can be trained well to reach the particular target. So these are the performance review where you can evaluate the efficiency, the reach to the customer, and the sales figure. It is helping the marketer in understanding which distribution partner is performing high and who is not performing high, and they are also helping the underperformer to develop or enhance their skill in matching the target benchline. Reward reliable participants with incentives. Those who are reliable, they are also paying them incentives, and replace or retain inefficient partners. They are also replacing this performance review is helping in replacing or replacing the inefficient partner and retaining the efficient partner. Continuous improvement of distribution network due to performance review. So when performance review is having a gap between the actual and the expected one, then the company is taking initiative to close that gap. So continuous improvement is happening in their distribution network. Let's summarize this entire unit. We have started with conventional and modern intermediaries, where you understood about wholesaler, retailer, and stockist, and the day-to-day practices like two models. One is direct to retail initiative and self-help group. Then, what is the requirement of intermediaries in rural distribution? Because rural distribution cannot avoid them, and rural distribution cannot solely depend on the model of distributing product from the manufacturer to the customers. This is near impossible for rural belt. So there is a need to depend on these intermediaries. Who are the wholesalers? These are the points, or these are the business person who are buying in large bulk or large size, and after purchasing in a large bulk, they are distributing through retailers. So this is the job of the wholesalers. Wholesalers are also helping in making the product available for the retailers and the customers. So, what is the job of the retailers in rural distributions? They are small scale creditors to the customers. They are having available products, or that they are keeping the product in stock so that the customers can come and buy them. And they are also the closest point of contact with the rural consumer, and they are sometimes the trust builder. Who are the stockists and distributors? They are appointed by the company itself, and they are also helping in product selling, like of FMCG product selling. So these three intermediaries are available in rural marketing initiate marketing actions or activities. But there are some challenges that we understood. Challenges like high cost of distribution, limited penetration, over reliance on credit cycles, and inconsistent product availability. And for this, we understood a FMCG traditional distribution as a case study. Then two models. One is direct to retail models, where ITC is directly supplying product to its consumer through e-chopper. So there is no intermediaries in this particular model. Then we understood the franchisee and the rural entrepreneurs in this particular model, where companies are helping to establish new franchises at the closest distance of the villages to sell their product more closely with the customers. Then we understood the technology in distribution that simply lies with the use of a digital phone and the use of internet, that is helping the customer to order well and receive the product at its doorstep. We also understood about the cooperative societies. These cooperative societies are having a major role in strengthening the rural economies. Let it be a food supply or a fertilizer or the seeds, they are helping the farmer to do their day-to-day activities. They are solving the farmers' issues, and they are also getting a trust with the farmers. And sometimes these cooperative societies are playing a major role in selling the products of the companies. Then we understood about PDS, that is public distribution system or fair price shops, where the government is implementing a project to available to have some regular items for the villagers or the village buyers at a subsidized price. Let it be kerosene or sugar or wheat grain or food grain. They are making these things or selling these things at a subsidized price to the village buyers. So strength and weakness of PDS are also we have discussed. The major weakness of PDS is corruption or leakages. So these are also the partners of logic distribution channel. Then we discussed about village hearts. These are regular in activities. The frequency of having village hearts are also low. Every week they are having a village hearts where the people of village are coming for not only for the exchange of goods or a trading activities. These are also the platforms where the company can introduce their product in a demonstration way, and these hearts can be a potential platform for the company to sell their products. Then we also discussed about the village fairs, and the major characteristics of village fair is a large pool of customers, and it is a potential platform for the company to establish their product again through demonstration, or you or any sachet to you introduce their product in a sachet format, use it, then fill it, then buy it, this kind of format. Then we discussed about the limitation of hearts and fairs, and finally we understood about the function that is called channel monitoring and why it is important. Because if you are not monitoring or your company is not monitoring all the participants of the rural distribution channel, then it is difficult to maintain the efficiencies of the channel, and it will be difficult to reach at the target point. And these are the methods of channel monitoring. Let it be a sales audit, retailer survey, or a GPS tracking system and feedback mechanism. With this, we end up this particular unit on participants of distribution channel. Thank you.